Hi folks, today's video is about a free open source and very cross-platform app called LocalSend, and it is available on Android, also standalone APK file you see there with F-Droid. It's available on iOS, so you can put it onto iPads or iPhones, Windows, as well as Linux, and I'll show a little bit more detail about how you get to these download links just now. But just suffice to say, it's not actually just files. It can also transfer even or backup APK app files from your Android phone specifically. Obviously not, I don't think that's on iOS. I have tested this on iPad, but I'm going to show today how it works on Android. And it'll also copy text back and forth. So if you think of apps like Push Bulletin similar, they're getting more and more restricted and limiting in terms of what you can do, especially on the free accounts. So what also sets this aside, apart from it being free, is security. It uses SSL certificates, which it generates on the fly, but it works on your local network only. So it does not go externally out to any cloud services, and it doesn't require or use any cloud services. All you've got to do is start up the apps on the two sides and send or receive whatever you want to send. So if you are external, you could use maybe something like OpenVPN or something to drop into your local LAN, and that'll be a way of also using this. Or for example, maybe even if you're connecting via the same mobile hotspot, for example, it works basically on your local network. So that's it in a nutshell, really. This is what its sort of main website looks like. I'll put the links below, obviously, the video as well. But if you click down at the bottom here for where it shows offline installers, you'll see here it goes into a little bit more detail about the installations, and these are obviously quick links. You'll see including also on Windows side a portable exe file. So that's also pretty nice. You don't even have to install it. You could run this off or have it on a USB stick even and use it in that manner. And obviously I didn't mention just now about Mac OS as well. So let's have a look at the GitHub page actually. Let's go to code. So you'll see the source code, of course, also quite important. Updates yesterday, last week, last month, last week, so 3 days ago. So it's regularly updated, which is always good news for anything that you want to make use of. And here's a more detailed breakdown of all the different manners of installation. So there's all your options on Windows, including that portable file. Mac, on Linux side, I'm actually running it as a FlatHub or Flatpak install at the moment. That's often your most reliable way of running it. But if you are on Arch, then AUR as well. And AppImage will run on Ubuntu and most other Linux distros as well. For Android, obviously, yes, Play Store, but also F-Droid and standalone APK. And yeah, including even Amazon for the Fire OS. They give a little bit more detail here, which you can sort of read how it works. And there's some manual installs as well, if you need to. But I think let's get on with looking at the app. I'm going to sort of show you first of all how it works. And then I'll go through some of the menu options as well. So it's running here on the Linux side, on the left-hand side. And you'll see it's got a name. This is quite important because it identifies uniquely for each device that's connected. It's got a sort of a cryptic phrase or two-word phrase, if you want to call it that, which helps you just identify and ensure that you are connecting to the correct machines. So let's just start up the Android side. On the right-hand side, I've actually got my Android phone, and I'm just going to start the app up. Here we go. So you'll see on the Android app side, it's got the two-word phrase cunning banana, and on the Linux side, strong tomato. So that just helps you sort of figure out which one you're sending to. So let's send a file from the Linux side. You basically will just go, I see I've got a file selected there, I'm not too sure why. Let's just say selection. Actually go to the downloads directory. I had a file there already, in fact. There we go. So let's just say this file, the PDF. I should just say that, well, we'll see in the settings just now, if it is a media file, a JPEG type or other image file, there is an option also to send it straight to your photos gallery, which is quite nice. So I'm going to attach this PDF. But as I said, it doesn't just do files. I could also add a text type as well here. And now you could add a message in here, say test message, and you can also make it a multi-line if you want to, and confirm. So I'll see it's got 2. It's already detected here on the local network something called Cunning Banana Samsung device with a number 228. That's actually the IP address, the end of the IP address. And on the Android side, I can just confirm that is the correct device. So once you've selected your files here, you just click there on the device you want to send it to. Just one other thing though to mention, you can also here on the send mode choose multiple recipients. So you could send a particular file or group of files to say 6 devices you've got, maybe 2 Android devices or 5 Linux machines or a Windows machine and 5 Mac machines. So that is actually where you would send it, and there's a slight difference here because the selection won't be cleared. I'm assuming that means that you would go click to send first device, click on second, click on third, click on fourth. That's, I'm assuming, how that would work. But in this case, I've just got the one device. So I'm going to click here on Cunning Banana, and you'll see on the Android side, it's immediately shown here that Strong Tomato wants to send you 2 files, and I can decline it or I can accept it. I'm not sure the options are. Oh, it shows you here what the files are, and I could also then select which ones or unselect, what I don't want, but also it shows me where the destination is, where the files are going to be copied to. So I'm going to say accept and done. And I can just click on the Linux side as well, done. So if I now was to go to out of there and go to Solid Explorer that I use, and I go to downloads, there you can see the text file and the Energizer file there. So I could actually just choose open with and say open that in the text editor. And there you can see the message that I typed in. And if I wanted to, I could now select that, copy it, and paste it into something else. Because this could have been quite a long piece of text that I'd maybe typed out already. But just to show, it can send text directly to or fairly directly to the clipboard. If you've mixed text with files or multiple files, it does transfer the text then as a text file to the destination device. But have a look here. If you say send and you now just say text and you say test text message, again you could make this multi-line or longer and say confirm, and I'm going to send it to Cool Banana. You'll see now on the Android side what is received is there is the text message, which you could just copy or whatever the case is, but you'll see you've also got copy. So if you click on copy, it's going to copy it to the clipboard, and then you could paste it straight into something else. So it's not always just a text file. It can actually send to the clipboard. So let's just go back to LocalSend. What I can show here now is just say from the Android side, let's just have a look at sending a file as well. You see it again is confirming there that there is the Strong Tomato client, the Linux client, and the 101 address is again the end of my IP address. But you'll see now there's some other options at the top here. You can also choose media for photos. You can do files like we've done before and text, but you can also send an app. So if I was to choose an app, it will present me here with a long list of my different apps, and I could say choose APRS Droid, and then all I have to do again here is I would be clicking again on the destination. But again, we can also just have a look, same options there. You can do single and multiple recipients, and I will just click on the destination, and you'll see on the Linux side it says here Cunning Banana wants to send you a file, accept, and I can say yes. And what's been received, it's gone into my downloads folder and it's actually saved the APK file. And if I look, this is my downloads address, and you'll see there is the APK file, and it confirms there just now it's just been received. So that's a backup of the install file from Android. So I think let's just sort of finish off then really with just having a look at some of the settings. This is on the Android side. You can see you've got theme colors. You can choose language. Not sure what they've got. They've got quite a fair variety of languages. The quick save is just going to allow the save without that confirmation. But as I say, beware of anyone else on the local network. Anybody can just send you files automatically. So obviously you're not going to use that, say, on a work environment. You've got some basic server setup. You can switch off the server. You can stop it. That would be just to recycle or refresh it. You could change the alias if you wanted to. You could also change, that's a default port number. Encryption is also on by default. You've got multicast. It's got some information about LocalSend. And it's got the change log there. And I think that's about it on the Android side. Oh, it just confirms again. If you click on the little information button on the top right there, it will just confirm what your IP address is and port number and so on. And this little timer thing will just show you a history of what's been transferred already. And on the Linux side, I think it's actually pretty well much the same. You've got similarly, theme, languages. You've got the quick save option. You can set your destination, or you can just take the default downloads for Linux. Similar options there for the network side, and the about and the changelog. The only other addition that it's actually got is this troubleshooting guide. There's a little bit of information there, especially with things like firewalls and other things. Gives you a bit of advice on how to go about sort of troubleshooting any issues. But I must say it's actually a pretty simple app. Again, in summary, it's really a question of you just need to start up both sides. So it's not going to be sitting and listening in the background. That's really for security purposes. It generates a SSL certificate on the fly to encrypt what's going across the LAN. And it really is a question of selecting what you want on the one side, seeing that the destination is actually started, its app is ready, clicking on it to send, and on the destination side, then just acknowledging OK or accept the files, or selecting if you want to choose from them. And that is it. Then you just go find them in your downloads wherever you've set the destination to be. So it's not the whole sort of kitchen sink really. It's not trying to do everything. It's trying to be simple and effective and secure. And the way they've done it is for people that are concerned about sending files out across the internet, or especially via third parties. For this, you don't need to transfer files through, say, using Dropbox or G Drive or Pushbullet or something like that. You've got a fairly nice local app. You can install this across everything that you're basically running in the house. This should even work for Raspberry Pis. If it's a Raspberry Pi, you might want to set that onto auto receive, for example, because you're not going to be logging into the interface to accept. But otherwise, yeah, that's sort of it. I just wanted to show it maybe in action. It's easier to show it than to just do a post about it sometimes. I'm sure some of you will find a use for this, and hopefully you found it interesting. So yeah, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.